Hello and welcome to the Final Fantasy I Total Chaos Tournament. We are in the first round of eliminations. We are having our first round here with a four-way race with Lenophis, Soma, KrusKader, and Rename. Give me one moment here. I'm actually trying to remember exactly who's racing who. I believe it's
Rename versus Lenophis, and
I believe it
versus
is.
Soma, as
Yes.
on your screen, hopefully.
That's correct. My name is Shinbreaker7.
And I'm Kibetha, and we will be your commentators for this evening, morning, whatever it is.
And give us a few minutes while we get the race ready to go. So anyone unfamiliar with this route, it is very different than other Final Fantasy 1 versions and other Final Fantasy games in general. There is an equipment glitch. It is the only glitch we will be using, and we will be using the heck out of it. While we're waiting, make sure everybody go ahead and follow these runners. Go ahead and follow and preferably subscribe to Speed Gaming, and follow Kib. She's fun.
When I stream. Also follow Shin, because he knows his shit. Oh dear, I've started already. It shouldn't be too long. We do have to get 4 runners ready rather than just 2 here, so bear with us while people get their emulators to stop crashing and things. Now, I might as well explain what's going on in the tournament at this point. We've already finished our group stages, so everyone who's currently on your screen has already got through their group stages and done 4 races. Best 2 in each category got to go through, and now we get to eliminate every person who loses a race. So stakes are really high for everyone today.
And barely just a moment, looks like Soma has had a little issue with his stream. He's getting it fixed right now.
Oh geez.
And it looks like he's getting rebooted. I would like to point out that we do not have any of our power black mages in the team today, looks like.
They don't know what they're missing out on.
No Bonsai or Banzai. Either
Nope.
one.
We have got a rename.
Yes.
We have a good luck, have fun, which I think is kind of adorable from Leno there.
Yeah. Speaking of Leno, on the commentary side, we're going to be wishing him good and bad vibes both. He was in the group phase. Kib, Leno, and I were a group, and so we both beat and lost to Leno, and we like him a lot.
Yep, he's alright. He's not bad. But we're not biased. Not at all.
Mm-mm. But at this point, everybody in the tournament has, made it through the group phases, so everybody in here is a good runner. And really, anybody can be a good runner in this game fairly quickly. This is, I'd say, probably one of the easier runs to learn. And it looks like the race will be starting here in just a few seconds.
Excellent. So you guys just need to wait a little bit for the restream to catch up. But they have just started.
Ooh, sound. Fancy.
But yeah, if you guys don't know FF1, I can sum it up for you in one word: RNG, which makes it a great race game because
Is that a word or
anything
initialism?
can happen. Acronym. Let's go with acronym. I can sum it up in one acronym.
No, acronyms require it to be a word. Initialism doesn't have to be a word.
Oh, right. One. Did you say
I thought you were
initialism?
English.
Is that a word? Initialism? Anyway, they are... You're going to see a lot of glitching on your screen in the next 5 seconds. Or possibly longer, depending on how long it takes them to do the menu. This is the equipment glitch. It's the thing that makes Final Fantasy 1 PSP the run that we know and love. basically, through a little glitch that I always struggle to describe, that means you can go into 2 menus at once via a frame perfect glitch. You can basically use a very low level piece of armor, or in this case, a weapon, to glitch yourself one of the most powerful pieces of armor or weapon in the game. You just have to have the corresponding like item number coding thing. I don't know. However it works.
In short, every weapon in the game and every piece of armor in the game has a, basically let's say it has a number associated with it for use in its equipment table. By changing from the armor slot to the weapon slot between 2 characters at the same time you try to select an item, it actually brings up the ID numbers for the other type of equipment. So, for instance, if the hammer was weapon number 1 and the knight's armor was armor number 1, we can use that to put knight's armors on by buying hammers. It's pretty easy to learn, and it allows us to fairly early on get some overpowered stuff. So in this case, we put a set of knight's armor on every character, which only one character is even supposed to be able to equip it. We didn't have to buy it, and we even made 1 extra set to sell to fund our early run. The other 4 sets, when we replace them later, will be used to sell to completely fund all the items we need in this run. We also went ahead and did the same glitch there to get an item called the Judgment Staff off a leather cap. The Judgment Staff is from what kind of like post-game content super dungeons exclusive to the later versions of the game. Even though it's just a staff, which is usually the weakest kind of weapon, it's meant to be so much later in the game that we get it. That's actually the most powerful weapon we can get at this point. As you see, Leno there defeated our first boss in 1 cycle. And
that's a very fast garland.
Yeah.
Very quick garland off the bat there. Good start for Leno. And Soma not far behind?
Yeah, everybody so far is having a pretty good time. Looks like KrusKader is having a little issues with his equipment glitch there. Every now and then your fingers just forget to do it right. The most important thing is everybody looks like they are coming into this fight with a Judgment Staff, which significantly speeds things up.
I'm sure no one would do anything other than that, obviously. Shin is referring to a stupid runner who recently forgot the Judgment Staff menu and just had to slowly chip away at Garland's 200 health with like 1 HP per blow. But that was a very stupid runner, and none of these runners are stupid, so they wouldn't do such a thing. So Leno here is in one of the kind of unskippable cutscenes. There's 2 kinds of cutscenes, skippable and unskippable. Basically, if the cutscene exists within the normal game engine, you can't skip it. You can just kind of mash through the text. There's not many of them, fortunately, and they're all fairly short. This is actually one of the longer ones. There's another kind of cutscene. We actually already skipped one you may not have noticed. If it's a cutscene that kind of goes out of the game engine to show a video, we can skip it after a fade-in, fade-out period. We're going to be getting one of those in just a minute here on Leno's screen. And he's hitting the bridge by 4 minutes. That's a very good time so far. So as soon as this fade begins, he can exit out of it, it fades out, and we skip that long sequence. And this might be a good time to talk about the party members we're using. Kib, why are we using the party we are? Because we like variety, and we're not really keen on monks.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
That's in a nutshell.
And red mages are lame and have terrible fashion sense.
Yeah.
That's why. There is actually a reason. Shin, would you like to go ahead and tell us?
Alrighty. All right. Every party member in here is in here for a specific reason. The warrior, you might think he's in here because he's strong and can take a hit. And while that is a bonus for him, the main reason we have him is because he can equip. He can equip just about anything in the game. The equipment glitch, in order to initiate it, while we can equip any item on anybody through the equipment glitch, the item used to initiate the glitch has to be equipable by the character starting it. So there are several items in this game that only the warrior can equip early on that we will need him to start the glitch. So he's in here just for the glitch. Because of the equipment glitch, the Thief is actually our most powerful damage dealer. Because Final Fantasy 1, the Thief has the highest agility, which means he gets in the most attacks per turn. And when we have overpowered equipment, that actually is more important than the strength stat. So he's going to be our main damage dealer. We have the White Mage only for the final boss battle, really. Not for the final boss battle, we would find something else to do. But we need her to cast heal
some of the other platforms, people have actually tried to do routes without the White Mage, with varying degrees of success, including World Records. So, you know, if we could get rid of her, we would, but it kind of makes life difficult.
Yep. And over on rename screen, saw something weird just happen. It looks like they cast the most powerful spell in the game there. That's weird.
That is strange. Maybe they just made a little detour to, you know, the final optional dungeon.
Yeah, I guess that's how they did it. Yeah. So this game, unlike some of the later Final Fantasy games, item magic works a little different. When you use an item to cast a spell, in this case the Judgment Staff, it doesn't break it. And we're not supposed to have the Judgment Staff at this point. It's supposed to be kind of a late super bonus item. And it allows us to cast Flare for free as much as we want. We're going to try not to, because it has a long animation time. But, ooh, we got 15 puzzle going on here. But that's what the Judgment Staff is for.
Oh, Leno's taking it. Oh, wow. Okay. 15 puzzle. Something that you really shouldn't see in PSP, but we've got a bit of a meme going on between some of our runners at the moment. 15 puzzle, there is, if you get a certain time, a 1 in 6 chance that you can get the emergency exit, which lets you exit any dungeon whenever you like.
There is one point in the game where that is very, very useful. But you have to get between 30 and 60 seconds. So, and he got a potion.
Yeah, as you can see, totally worth. Yep, that will probably be the only person you see doing the 15 puzzle, because not only are you gambling, it's also really difficult, and you have to do a hell of a lot of practice to get a good time in the 15 puzzle. So,
yeah, eventually there will come the day where that's the only way to hit PBs is to get that. But for now, it's just not worth it. For
now, it's just Leno showboating 6 minutes into the run. 8 minutes, I can't read.
So, all our characters have bought most of our items at this point. Some of them are swinging by Elfheim to pick up some gold needles for safety later in the run. And you may notice Leno on that screen just cast Fyra using the Thief. We also picked up a leather shield, which can be glitched into the Mage's Staff, which allows us to cast Fyra. While that is not as powerful as the flare we get from the Judgment Staff, its animation time is half as long. So a lot of some of the routes in this game involve grabbing other magic items just for their faster animation times.
Yeah, if we say that the Judgment Staff's animation is about 8 seconds long, that doesn't sound very much, until you bear in mind that most of these encounters should only be taking about 2 or 3 seconds, ideally. So, yeah, not something you want to be doing frequently.
So, Soma is coming up on our first spike tile of the game. This is a tile with a guaranteed encounter. It's going to have Pisco Demons. And he went ahead and healed ahead of time because Pisco Demons can sometimes hit like trucks. And while we have super overpowered armor, critical attacks ignore armor. So if any of our characters get critted, there's a very good chance they'll die. And you can have up to 4 enemies here. So we went ahead and healed just to be safe.
That is an excellent start for Soma there. It's got a sub 930 Pisco Demons.
Yes. And picked up the crown. The crown is the first item in a long fetch quest we have at the very beginning of the game. So I'm going to explain it to you in reverse order. We need to get out into the greater world. Right now we're kind of trapped in kind of a trapped lake. There's an earthen dam blocking our access to the greater ocean and the rest of the game world. In order to get rid of that dam, we got to blow it up, make a canal. Actually, the dwarves are going to blow it up for us. In order to do that, they need an item called the nitro powder. The nitro powder is in a chest locked behind a door that requires the mystic key to open. The mystic key is held by the Prince of Elfheim, who is currently in a coma. That coma can only be cured with an item called the Jolt Tonic, which is owned by a witch named Matoya. But right now, she can't see anything because her crystal eye is being held by the Dark Elf Prince Astos. In order to get Astos to give us the crown, rather, in order to get Astos to give us the Crystal Eye, we have to kill him. In order to kill him, we have to find him. In order for him to reveal himself, we have to give him the crown, which we just picked up in the Marsh Cave. So, you know, nice, convenient, short little quest.
That deserves a round of applause. Great job, great job. Yeah, if you haven't memorized all of that, then you haven't played FF1 enough times, which we have.
A few times.
Just a few. And yeah, that's only the first, about 35 minutes, 30 minutes. Oh no, because that's not even to the Earth Cave, so that's about the first 20 minutes of the game. We do a lot of running around.
But fortunately, that's our only fetch quest in the game, right?
Yeah, just that one. Oh wait, no, there's a couple of others. Oh, damn.
There's not one immediately after one, is there?
No, I think there might be something to do with the Cavern of Earth or something. Cavern of Girth, something like that.
So we're having a good time. We're kind of ignoring the boss fight going on right here.
Yeah, we are. Soma already made it to Astos. Yeah.
And Astos is gone. So
Astos being a nice guy for once, rather than casting his death spell, which he likes to throw out on the first turn to get rid of one of your party members. But Soma not having to deal with that.
If he does cast death, it's okay. As long we'd prefer him to attack. If he does cast death, we want him to cast it on either our warrior or our thief. Our mages, we're going to be doing a grind for him later. Ooh, Renum having some issues with undead, but he's getting by. But because of a grind session later, it's just easier to keep track of the levels if both of our mages have been alive and have the same experience every turn.
Just saves you a fight or at max a couple of fights.
Yeah. And checking menus now and then to see which characters are leveled up, because it's hard to keep track of who's leveling up in the fast text. But leveling up together, it's easy.
The undead that Rename was struggling with a little bit there. Something you want to watch out for the whole run. All undead enemies, or almost all undead enemies, can cast or have the ability to inflict paralysis or sleep or stun or similar things, just to completely just disable your party, basically. And if you get ambushed, you can have up to 9 hits on your party, and all of those have got a chance to paralyze. So you can end up in what we like to call a paralock, which is where your entire party is completely paralyzed, and you just have to sit and wait and hope that it's eventually going to wear off.
And the other 3 runners all at Astos now. Soma just had a great early run so far.
Yep, Soma doing great. It's not like the others aren't doing badly. We're all quite good right now.
But for anybody watching right now, this can swing heavily. There was a race between 2 runners on Sunday where one runner was like 2 minutes ahead and ended up losing by 6 minutes. It was crazy. So Soma is coming up on Matoya's cave. This is one of the first places where we like to laugh about NPC luck. There's a blue-haired guy that can cause trouble at the very beginning of the game, but we don't like brooms.
Brooms are evil. Absolutely evil. I've actually never been broomed, but I have seen it, I have witnessed it. I can tell you it doesn't look fun. The brooms, basically, they like to stand in doorways. If they stand in a doorway, you can't get through the doorway, and they don't like moving. So, not something you want to see. Luckily, Soma making his way past the dangers of the brooms.
Yeah. We don't like brooms, we don't like bats, we don't like anybody in the town of Lufenia, and anybody with blue hair.
Yeah, priestesses are particularly bad.
Yeah,
Never trust a priestess. Ever.
There are several points where they can block your path.
Like, I mean, the bats, you know, you have to be quite unlucky for them to properly get in your way. The brooms, I've never personally seen it. Priestesses, it's almost every single run. So they're definitely the worst.
I actually got blocked by someone in Gaia a few weeks ago.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, there's a red cloaked guy near the item shop.
Oh yeah, him. He's fun. He usually stays out your way, except for when he really doesn't. So yeah, I don't know if we mentioned about ship encounters. You get considerably less encounters when you're on your ship. But at this point in the game, they can be pretty horrible because what you can see on the
screen
is Sahagins. Sahagins are basically sea wolves, is what we call them, because they are incredibly hard to run away from, and they almost always go before you because they've got very high agility. And at this point in the game, we've got no agility boosting equipment, so we are pretty much at their mercy.
And because we never explained wolves, we're experiencing on KrusKader.
I did just explain that backwards, didn't I? Sea wolves are
so we have
the sea version of wolves.
Yeah.
Lancerhagins, yes.
They have high agility, they come in large packs, and they can be annoying to run from.
And they like to ambush you. I swear they ambush more frequently than all other monsters. That's probably just my perception, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you experience them a lot, so I guess they would because they have a higher encounter rate.
Yeah.
But they also ambushes from a single goblin. It's like whatever, you lose 2 seconds. An ambush from a large group of enemies takes a long time. Anytime
if you get 9 wolves, if you get 9 wolves ambush, then you get not only those 9 attacks for the ambush, but then they all get to go before you. So you actually end up with about 18 attacks before you can even try and run, and then you can't usually run from them. So not fun.
Yeah. You can, in a really bad situation, lose a minute on a bad ambush. It can be very frustrating.
Nothing you can do.
Did we mention earlier that there's a lot of RNG in this game?
We might have. I think you said something about how it wasn't an acronym because, just had to make me look bad.
Yeah. All right. So Soma has picked up the Mystic Key. He used it to open up a chest where he picked up a Mithril Hammer. The Mithril Hammer can be used to glitch Thieves' Armlets, which we can actually, through the magic of the equipment glitch, put on 3 different armor slots. The Thieves' Armlets, in addition to giving us some extra defense here, the big thing that allows us to do is every set of Thieves' Armlets increases our agility by 5, making us go earlier in the turns and make it easier to run. So most of the rest of the game, we're going to be trying to get agility items on our armor slots, and even a weapon slot later on. So,
and wow, everyone on the left side of your screen has just given up on running away from the Lancerhagins and Seawolves and just whacks out their judgment staff. Always an option, not very quick, but much more safe.
And so picking up the nitro powder, and let's see, he does not get the Mithril Knife. Okay. So that can be an indication of what route he's running.
Or he could have just forgotten it, which is always
I didn't see him buy spells.
No, maybe he buys them later.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just hopes that it's going to go well.
Yeah. So the Mithril Knife can be used to create an item called the Black Robe, which allows us to cast Blizzara for free. And there are a couple enemies in the late game where that's faster than the Judgment Staff.
And here, Rename and Lenophis are pretty much neck on neck. That's not a saying, Kib. Neck to neck? I don't know.
Neck and neck.
Neck and neck, that's the one. They're both doing the Thieves' Armlet menu, and we're only 20 minutes in, but that's a good sign of a close race.
Now, you notice right here, KrusKader is actually walking at the left side of the castle and back in to go to the right. We've all done this, just because that's quicker than walking across the castle and through corridors, just to leave and get back in.
Oh, and that was a little bit of an illusion of being more close than I thought they were, because Lenophis had to go in and get his gold needles, whereas Rename had already done that earlier. You'll see this a few times. The route doesn't usually change that much in this game. Got a couple of differences, but sometimes you can do one thing before another, so you might think that the runners are closer than they are, and then realise they haven't done their shopping yet.
So Soma just blew up the canal, so his fetch quest is officially over. Hooray!
Hooray! Oh wait, is that another fetch quest I see on the horizon? Yeah, he gets to take a ship across the canal, and then he gets to the next one.
Yeah. Which is probably, it's a shorter one, but it's a more annoying one.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you do 15 puzzle and win, which, you know.
Which we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll point out the place where Leno was hoping for that emergency exit. It's quite obvious. It's the part where you have to backtrack for like 5 minutes.
So Soma here is doing our favorite menu of the game.
It's the one that makes you really OP.
Yeah. So it's so far it seemed like we were overpowered. We weren't even touching overpowered yet.
Is that Siege's stuff? Where did that come from?
You can pick that up next to the Mithril Hammer. It's a replacement for the Golden Staff.
Oh.
So you're picking up the gauntlets, but it does not quite as powerful as the Gold Staff. And we'll explain that later.
Got to explain it to your fellow commentator before you explain it to everyone else. You can call me One Root Kib. If it's another route, I have no idea what's going on.
But it is the Kib route, though. So, you know, there's that.
Supposedly, not that I made it up.
Yeah. It's your notes.
Yeah.
It's what I use. So.
I've just like stolen like all the credit from Nikki, just like because I made it look pretty.
Well, Nikki's not here to defend Nikki, so you can just steal it now.
That's true. She's busy doing Legend of Zelda or something.
So Soma is now in the Cavern of Earth, our favorite place. Here we have bats, and here we have the third floor. The third floor is the first kind of really scary section of the run. And so most of our runners are going to be saving when they get to that floor. So maybe Leno, because Leno just kind of does his own thing routing-wise. I never know what to expect from Leno.
Bit of YOLO. Are we still allowed to say YOLO, or is that, you know, a 2015 meme?
I'm so far behind the times that it makes sense to me. It feels me.
But yeah, everyone.
I still don't have a Twitter.
So
you know, it's just
I've never had a Twitter. I mean, like I have one, but I don't use it.
That's for young people.
I'm not young, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm sure I was once. Yeah, everyone about even, except for Soma, who's still going strong. Now he's just hit the third floor. And no safety save there.
Alright, so the third floor, scary for a couple reasons. First off, these wolves anywhere in the cavern are great. It looks like he had a 9-wolf ambush. So this will be a good chance for people to catch up some. But there also are 3 encounters of note here. One that we'd like to see is the Ochre Jellies. It's our first 1 in 64 encounter. We do keep track for our tournament just for fun, the rare encounters. But less fun are Pisco Demons. We fought them earlier. They are unrunnable for the entire game, so you have to use a Judgment Staff or fight them to get away. So you can lose time with them. But the worst of all are Cockatrices. Cockatrices can petrify your characters. Petrification is worse than death. And if all 4 characters get petrified in ambush, there's absolutely nothing you can do to prevent it. It's just game over. And we also have this boss here coming up on Soma's screen, the Vampire.
Oh, he's scary.
First time, yeah,
worst possible boss.
Yeah, it's
really want to hold on to your knickers, guys, because this one is bad.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
And it's over.
And it's done.
So that's the Barbarian Sword. The Barbarian Sword will be glitched into, actually Leno's doing the glitch right now. The Barbarian Sword is the most powerful sword in the game, and not by a little bit. If anyone remembers the Excalibur from Final Fantasy 1 as being, one of the ultimate weapons until you get Massive Moon like the last 8 seconds of the game, the Barbarian Sword, between its stats and the fact that it has a strength boosting stats on it as well, it ends up being about triple the strength of the next most powerful sword in the game. So, yeah, we're going to be wrecking bosses for a while.
And when we say a while, we mean up to the last boss, basically.
Who will wreck us right back.
Yep, he does that.
Yeah. The whole game is basically prepping for one fight. Our biggest threat actually is random
hoping
encounters.
that you don't get wrecked by random encounters that aren't actually meant to be that dangerous, but really are. So, almost everyone in the Cavern of Earth now. KrusKader a little bit behind.
So some of our runners, you may notice, are actually trying to aim for the swamp tiles on the overworld map. That's simply because these swamp tiles have a lower encounter rate than any other overworld map tile.
Is it lower than desert? Is desert the
I don't
same?
know about desert. Desert's pretty low.
Yeah, I think desert's a bit. I don't know. I think they're probably about the same.
Yeah, very low.
Though desert usually comes with sandworms, which makes up for it.
So Leno taking that city step on the 3rd floor. So you may have noticed someone walked right back out after defeating the vampire and picking up a star ruby. That's because you need that star ruby to give to this giant. And there is a plate in the ground right behind where the vampire was that we need a special item for that's only available past this giant. So we don't like this fetch quest because we have to go through we have to experience the first 2 floors of the Cavern of Earth 3 times, and basically the 3rd floor as well, because you're walking across it back and then across. So basically go through the first 3 floors 3 times.
And that's 3 times as many cockatrices.
Yep. So Leno having to deal with some Pisco demons there, he couldn't run.
And you can see 2 options for taking them out there. Leno using the judgment staff, because there was 3. And Rename just giving him a whack with a barbarian sword, because there was only 2. Decisions like that, just saves a couple of seconds. But when, we've had races that have been decided by a couple of seconds, so...
Oh no! So... KrusKader forgot to change to the judgment staff on the item menu.
Oh no.
He still had everything set on the equipped weapon, which had been the judgment staff. So he tried using barbarian swords.
Oh no.
I'll do the thing.
I think we've all been there.
Yep.
At least he didn't use cloves on Chaos.
Yes.
Taking the opportunity for a quick heal and heading on his way.
Noticing that heal did not heal to full. That seems odd.
That is weird. You think that maybe he doesn't have enough potions? Maybe.
Possibly. No, the reason is we need our warrior and our thief at a point getting closer and closer to die for some experience grinding. And there is a enemy attack that the grinding enemy can do. They can hit the whole party for about 65, 70 hit points. So we want to keep our thief and our warrior under that hit point pool, so that when it happens, they die. We plan for best luck and don't heal them all the way. And we never get best luck unless we really don't want to. So Soma is back in the Cavern of Earth while others are on the way out. Soma's just having a fantastic run right now.
Yeah, we missed the high five going on there. But ideally, for like a really good kind of world record attempt run, you kind of want to be about like a sub 31 Lich pace. Lich being the next boss that he's heading to. And really, he's looking pretty close to that.
Yeah, Soma's having a spectacular run, so we'll see what the Ice Cavern does to him.
I was going to say we should probably stop talking about now. Because commentators curse. We're really good at it. Like, there's so much RNG in this game that the commentators curse, I swear, is more effective on this game than on many others. Because you can just say, oh, they're having a great run, and then the next encounter is, 9 wolves ambush, or Pisca demons just whacking everyone.
I missed a little while ago, but I want to thank Count Extreme for the bits for the channel there.
Thank you very much. I like the one-upmanship there of the last one was 28, this one's 29.
Do we have a 30?
Can't tell if that's a 12-year-old or a female talking. Thank you. Yes, I am female.
Are you 12?
Yeah, I am actually. It's my 12th birthday yesterday.
Alrighty. So Soma back at the vampire, so has finished the fetch quest by doing the lap. And heading into the rest of the Cavern of Earth. So once again, we're hoping on the next floor to see Ochre Jellies, and the last floor we want to see Earth Elementals.
We have genuinely got 30 in chat now. 30 bits. Thank you very much, Ken. Do I see 31 anywhere? 31, come on, guys. You can get this wonderful top spot on Speed Gaming for only 31 bits. Come on. I didn't know that I was meant to be an auctioneer as well as a commentator.
Well, we like Fiesel, and Fiesel likes tacos. We need to fund the tacos.
It's true, true. I didn't know that Fiesel likes tacos. Now I know how to bribe him. Excellent.
Alright, so Soma is on the 4th floor. This is actually the first floor, one of the first floors where a lot of people get lost learning the game. It's kind of a confusing layout. When learning the game, the hardest things to learn are just, map movement, taking the right paths, and which encounters are unrunnable. Alright, and Soma took a safety save there. I don't know why you would. Lich seems like a pretty safe fight that's never ended my run 4 times in a row during a race.
Never.
Never.
Lich is either extremely easy or a one-shot kill. So, and when I say a one-shot kill...
Oh, one-shot kill!
Yeah, there you go! Perfect! Thank you for the demonstration, Soma. Yeah,
Ken,
he has a
Can
class.
you just one-up yourself, and that's amazing.
Now someone has to give 62 if they want to get top spot. But yeah, Lich has the Blizzard spell, as you just saw, which isn't actually that powerful for this point in the game, except for that we are really underleveled. And we also don't heal to full because we save just beforehand, and we tend to do resets instead because it's faster.
Yeah, from full health, he'll still wipe us, so...
I think the warrior would just about survive. He does about 150 attack.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's an AoE ice attack that you can't really do anything about other than hope it doesn't hit you.
Alright, so Soma gets through Lich. And here's one of our unskippable cutscenes I'm going to play right here.
Also known as tea break.
Yep. We don't do tea here.
Oh, sorry. Also known as coffee break, if you're from across the pond.
Our tea has ice in it. It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Don't do that. Rename having a bit of trouble with zombies, but he's made it out. So, who other than Soma is ahead at this point? It's kind of hard to tell when they're all running around so fast.
Yeah, they're running around and getting Pisco Demons.
Yeah. I mean, KrusKader is on his way. Is he on the 4th floor?
He might be. So, looking at Soma's time, Soma's making very good time.
Very good time, yeah.
Yeah. I was making similar time the other day, though, and lost by 6 minutes. So,
yep, it's always possible.
Final Fantasy 1.
I mean, kind of like, I know we're like half an hour into a hour and a half speed run, but kind of the place you want to start looking for where people are is after the Cavern of Ice, because we cannot stress how mean that place is. Yeah. And that'll be
I'm a big believer in looking at who's in the lead when the game's over.
Yes, there's that, but that's not so fun to watch, seeing as, then it's over. Alright, so rename and Leno. Thank you, sort of Super Saiyan? Can you be sort of Super Saiyan? Clearly you can. But yeah, Rename and Leno still having a close match. I'll remind you that these guys aren't all racing against each other. It's the top 2 racing each other and the bottom 2 racing each other. So Soma quite a long way ahead of KrusKader at this point, though still all to play for. And Rename and Leno are pretty much neck and neck going into the fight again. I actually said neck and neck this time. So let's see. Oh, Lich has decided Rename does not get to go through this time. And Leno gets the clear. Yeah, that's the shame about the Lich fight. I mean, we could spend a few seconds, minutes trying to get more gear, trying to level up a bit so we've got more HP. You know, we could bother with all of this, or we could just save beforehand and reset twice apparently.
Rename gets it again.
Oh no.
Going for my record.
Yep. It's 5, isn't it? The current tournament record of Lich resets.
I think it was 4, and then some sloppiness on my part that made it take the time of 5. And accidentally forfeiting from the race in the process. It was a nightmare.
It was fun. Meanwhile, I was just having the time of my life.
I have commentary curse and I have racing kib curses. Alright, 3rd time's charm.
So yeah, that means that Leno has got quite the head start there. He's already got through the cutscene and is on his way out. Meanwhile, KrusKader has also made it to Lich.
And Soma is doing another menu. So, the menus we do there, we get ourselves some black garbs, which have 10 agility instead of 5, so twice as good as our Thieves' Armlets. And depending on what route they're running, some of our players will also be getting Lust Daggers, which give, plus ludicrous, I don't remember exactly the number, agility for our mages. Let them go early in the turn order, which is useful for the grind fight, and if we're using item magic for large enemy groups, it speeds things up. And once again, all of it makes it easier to run from battles.
So Leno and nearly KrusKader just heading down to Crescent Lake, which is where we will be doing that next menu. I'm not sure if everybody's already done their shopping. One recent route change is that the ethers that some of the guys got at the beginning, we used to do them in Crescent Lake. I think they've decided it's faster now to do it in Provoker. But
I think I saw somebody pick up items in Cornelia, so I think someone still needs to buy them. So basically, in Provoker, you can buy almost all the items for the run except for gold needles. The old route, we would buy a bunch of items in Provoker, and then we'd buy gold needles in Elfheim, and we'd buy ethers in Crescent Lake. So we just skip items at the very beginning of the game because we don't need potions early on, typically is what we do now.
Technically, you also don't need ethers until... not even here, you don't need ethers until about an hour in, so really it's just how quickly can you literally get through the item menu and walk to the shop. Is the only real reason that we need to change that around.
And it looks like Soma is using Black Mage strats, I just realized. Okay. Using magic strats with the Sage's Staff. So that's a weird one. Instead of using item magic, Soma's actually learning spells for the Black Mage. It makes the spells a little more powerful, and makes menuing much easier when dealing with different enemy groups. But it does require you to go buy some spells, and you have to worry about leveling a little more carefully in the early game with the Black Mage.
Does it make menuing any easier, though? Because
if you're changing back between stuff really quickly, it's nice to have all your spells in one place.
Well, Nikki's route very carefully does inventory management in that shop so that you end up with all your magic casting items in the same place as well.
Yeah, the only one that ends up in a weird spot is gauntlets.
They're slightly below black robes, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm a little biased because I like that route. Yeah, that's just a little difference. Also, that means that the guys doing magic strats will be using their black mage, and their white mage will be largely useless. Whereas the guys who are doing item stats, you will see their white mage doing most of the damage, and the black mage just hanging around and occasionally dying.
Yep. So Soma is flying through this Cavern of Ice. Cavern of Ice, pretty simple place. There's only a few things we have to worry about, which are Pisco Demons, Cockatrices, mind flayers, white dragons, dark wizards, and undead.
And ice kickers. You forgot the ice kickers.
Oh,
Luckily,
and there's one.
Soma hasn't forgotten it. Yeah, basically, this place is death trap. We are underleveled, we are underhealed, we shouldn't be here, and if anything goes wrong, we're dead instantly. Other than that, it's a lovely place. Mind Flayers, not only can they paralyze your entire party with one attack, they also cause instant death with one hit. And they come
ambushes with cockatrices. So...
Cockatrices do their usual thing. Mummies can cast Sleep with one attack. They can cast Sleep and then petrify you, as we've just seen on Soma's screen. And they are runnable, but it's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, so what did there, it's a good strat, set the wizard to nuke them, told everyone else to run. Hopefully the running will happen first, and it did. But if the running had failed, the wizard could have saved them. Okay,
Oh.
wisely not...
Nearly gold needled.
Yeah. Petrification is good as death for not getting experience. So this is our grind fight. Thundara, first turn, that's perfect.
Perfect.
So... the thief is dead.
Might be
Now, all
particularly
the
mature
creatures
and
go to mages.
laughs at the fact that he's frozen on 69 HP.
You are 12.
I am 12.
And, KrusKader having a scary one himself.
Oh, and Lenophis, that was a preemptive strike with the Dark Wizards. If it was an ambush, he'd be dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think do you get normal encounters with Dark Wizards, or are they always preemptives or ambushes? It seems to be.
I swear they're always ambushes. I see them, I die. That's how it works. They can one-shot you.
They will one-shot you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, this evil eye that Soma is currently grinding on and that the others are all heading towards, not only is he guarding the Levy Stone, which we need to get the airship once we've finally got out of here, but he also gives a ridiculous amount of EXP, and he's very easy to kill because he's only got like 200 HP, and the Lust Dagger easily does that. So what we're doing is we're just spamming the tile that he's spiked on, and we've killed off everyone other than our mages so that they get double the EXP. And Soma is stopping at level 17. In the end, we want them to get to level 19 so that we can buy some spells for them. But
I guess he's just hoping that regular encounters will get him there. If not, he can grind some on the green dragons or zombie dragons.
To be safe, you probably want to stop on like level 18. To be fast, you can go for 17 and just hope you get lots of encounters that give you good EXP.
But I never hope for encounters. That's
No, me neither.
Encounters are the devil. But Leno made up a lot of time there. So...
Shin, I didn't notice that he'd been started the bit bidding war there.
Oh yes, yes.
Nice.
I can't brag about my own.
Oh, Shinbreaker7 in the chat there. Thank you for the bits. Thank you very much. Also, Ken, thank you for more bits. Excellent work, guys. Keep bidding and we'll eventually reveal to you guys what exactly you're bidding for. Because we don't know.
I'm out of bits.
You know, we could have had about 20 resets in the time that we weren't looking at the 4 screens.
Yep.
That is the Cavern of Ice for you.
We are very attentive.
So attentive.
Yeah. So, Soma, out of the Cavern of Ice, thankfully, and working the way out to the airship. You may notice that the warrior is still petrified and or dead, depending on whose stream we'll be watching. Reason is, the warrior is mostly set for the game. We would like to get a little more experience for our thief. For 2 reasons. One, we wanted to have more hit points. The final battle of the game, the thief and the black mage tend to have very low hit points and can be wiped in one hit without using special items to take an extra turn. Secondly, if your hit points are good, there is a possibility of learning haste on the thief as well as the black mage, depending on how your level rolls go. So we will see what happens there. But basically, the warrior's okay until we actually need him for a fight. We're just gonna keep him, all corpseified. And Soma now working way toward the Citadel of Trials.
As you may have noticed, the airship that we now have, not only does it move very fast, we also don't get encounters in the air. So that's why we go through the Cavern of Ice so early in the game, even though we are way underleveled and it's dangerous as hell. And this is our reward.
There is a small desert there with a very dangerous enemy that some players choose to save before walking out there because dangerous. The sandworm does have a chance of one-shotting your entire party.
He also has an extremely big mouth.
Yes. It is not that the chance of losing the game, it's just that teeth are scary.
Yeah, they are. Does he have teeth? He's not just like toothless sandworm?
In my brain, it's like a dune worm.
Do worms have teeth?
No, like Dune, Dune. Frank
No.
Herbert novel and the movies and the books, the giant sandworms with the big teeth everywhere.
No. I'll take your word for it.
Chat, I would like chat to know that Kib has not seen Dune.
Sorry. So, Lenophis is now making his lead
Soma
a little bit bigger.
Minotaur Zombies, one of the two unrunnables in the Citadel of Trials. Minotaur Zombies aren't very dangerous, but they are unrunnable. We will probably be seeing a bunch of them later on. We don't want to, but it's life. It's Final Fantasy 1. And the other unrunnable here are the zombie dragons, which are a 164 encounter, except for the guaranteed encounter of them. We also will be running across nightmares right here. Nightmares are runnable, but it's very difficult to run from them, so we usually just kill them unless it's a preemptive. And pretty often they're actually just included in the experience route. So even if Soma could run, probably would still fight them because he only went to 17 earlier. Leno being Leno and taking a different route here. He's swinging by the caravan first.
Lots of runners argue that there are ever such slight differences in the speed of going to one place before another on the world map. So you might see a bit of variety on where everybody goes first. Much for muchness. It's just some people like to do shopping first, and some people like to go and get rat's tails first.
And Leno just likes to be different.
Yep. I like that Leno runs around as the thief. I'm not entirely sure why he does it. I never really asked. But I do like the difference on the screen. It's nice. We should have asked them all to we should to pick a lot out of a hat. And, someone would have to be the black mage, someone would have to be the white mage, so that we could tell them apart on the screen.
But there is an issue with that, and I don't think we mentioned it earlier. The party order is important. The top party member receives 50% of all attacks, the party member in the second slot receives 25%, the third and fourth each get 12.5%. So, there is a reason we usually put our beefiest guy in the first slot, but Leno's Leno. Leno does what Leno does.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to ask him.
Has the rat's tail, which is the item needed to talk to Bahamut and get our class upgrade, so now he's going to go do that. Meanwhile, Leno's probably going to come to the Citadel of Trials. Yeah, he's landing now. So, lost a little time there that he will be gaining back on everybody else. And I expect Leno will probably be going to Marilith before class upgrades with the route he's taking. Which means he probably won't.
It doesn't appear... Oh wait, no, that's Soma, sorry. Too many people?
Yes, Soma is going to visit Bahamut and get the class upgrades. So now, instead of a warrior, a thief, a white mage, and a black mage, we are going to be having a knight, a ninja, a white wizard, and a black wizard.
They're all pretty much the same thing. They just wear shinier clothes.
Yep. You would think a dragon could find his own rat's tail for a snack, but, you know.
He seems very impressed with it. It's long been a point of contention what exactly he likes about the rat's tail, what he wants to do with it, why he finds it impressive. We're not sure.
I'm thinking about the right size for dragon floss.
Possibly. I hadn't thought of that one.
So this teleporter maze that Lena's going through that someone went through earlier, if you want to learn it, it's pretty easy. Always take the lower teleport. Bam, done. And if you think, oh, there might be some hidden item off some other path, nope. Take the wrong teleport, it takes you back to the beginning. So just go for the bottom one, and you'll be fine. So, Minotaur zombies everywhere on screen right now. And Kill will be back with us in just a moment. And Soma's now releasing the fairy in a bottle. It does not give you health like it will in other games you'll see on speed gaming, but it does give you the ability to breathe underwater eventually, which is kind of fun. And so since we've released that fairy, we actually bought the fairy in a caravan earlier, but the fairy will now give us Oxyale. Oxyale is a liquid that you can drink that gives you the ability to breathe underwater. In my real life, one of my jobs is I'm a scuba instructor, and I can tell you magic oxygen-infused beer is exactly how I teach people to stay alive underwater. And so with that Oxyale, Soma will be able to visit the third fiend, but before we go there to the Sunken Shrine, we're going to swing by Mount Golg and visit Merilith. Merilith is the second of our 4 fiends. You may notice we aim for the lava tiles. The reason we're doing that is lava tiles have a 0 encounter rate and do not increase your threat, which increases your chance of getting a random encounter. The encounter that Soma did get there actually was usually an unrunnable encounter, but even on an unrunnable encounter, if you get a preemptive, you can run. So Soma got lucky there. And everyone else seems to be wrapping up the Dove Trials. Soma actually having quite a few encounters here on Merilith Split in Mount Golg. So I think that's 4 or 5 encounters so far for Soma in Mount Golg. That is pretty rough. 1 or 2 is pretty standard. Pretty frequently you'll see 0 encounter on a good run.
And he's still YOLOing.
Yep. So you typically want to heal midway through that, because you can get ambushed by Hellhounds, which can cast Blaze, which is a full party fire attack. Everyone's at 1 hit point, everybody dies. So Merilith is the second easiest of the 4 fiends. She can cast Fyra, but with a party at full health, that's not really a threat. And she dies pretty easy.
Just looking up
Leno is
Soma's.
picking up his spells, because, like I said, he was going to do what I didn't expect. So he did the class upgrades and spells before Merilith.
Yeah, I was just looking up Soma's PB. According to speedrun.com, it's a 127. I don't know if he's on 127 pace right now. Possibly.
So it's going to be close to it. He lost a lot of time there in that split.
That might be why he's going full speed ahead there.
Yeah, all those encounters.
KrusKader and Rename still very close together.
Yep. And Leno is now going to Mount Gold. Okay. But Leno's going to get a lot of time back here. Not a lot. He's going to get some time back because while both Leno and Soma have done the Gaia stuff, Leno does already have spells, which Soma is buying right now. And just like Soma, Leno gets unrunnable with a preemptive there. So Soma picking up haste for his ninja and his black wizard. And Blazara for the black wizard, because he's doing a magic route. Haste works a little differently in Final Fantasy 1 than it does in later games in the series. There is no active time battle system here. So haste, instead of making your turn order, making your turn come up sooner, it actually doubles the amount of hits you get on a physical attack. So haste feels less like a speed spell, more of a strength doubler. So with haste and all the speed boosting items and the weapons we have, we're going to be hitting very, very, very hard. And our ninja will be our primary damage dealer.
And we're going to need it all for our last boss.
Yes. Leno also getting quite a few encounters here on this split. Meanwhile, Soma has reached Anrak. Do we have a blue hair issue here? No. Alright.
Also, I liked KrusKader's little parking dance there. I don't know if you guys spotted that one. Park to the left, park to the right. And that's an unlucky encounter for him, because Hellhound and Ogre Mage is an unrunnable encounter, and obviously Hellhounds really like to cast AoE spells on you. So I'm sure he'll be making a different decision this time. Yep.
Alrighty. And Leno gets through Merilith while Soma is working the way upstairs in the Sunken Shrine. This is where we're actually going to make use of teleport for the first time. Teleport works a little different than exit, which you might be used to in other Final Fantasy games and also in this one. Teleport, while it can take you to the world map, will also take you to the previous floor on any dungeon you're in. So, what we're going to see Soma doing here is going to the very top of the dungeon, picking up a quest item, then using teleport to get back down to the middle floor. Also may notice that having a lot of unrunnables here, Sahagan Princes, Ghosts, and Water Elementals, if they're by themselves, the Water Elementals, are all unrunnable, so Soma is using spells to take out these groups.
Yeah, I mean, usually you'll see one or two, and that's okay, but you really don't... It's very possible to have, like, almost every encounter in here being unrunnable, and that will eat up a lot of time.
Yeah. Usually, Sunken Shrine isn't that bad, but when it is bad, it is very bad. I have lost 5 minutes here before. So now I got the Rosetta Stone, that's a quest item. Now Soma's going to be casting Teleport a couple times. Now Soma's going to be swinging by and on the way down to visit Kraken, our favorite robe-wearing octopod, gonna be picking up a light axe in just a moment to do another equipment glitch. If Soma ever can make it more than 3 steps without an encounter.
Might be a decent chance for KrusKader to catch up a little bit of time. If Soma gets bad encounter luck here.
And we also need to appreciate the music here now that Leno's made it here and we got the sound on the stream.
Yeah,
we like the music.
Music's beautiful.
Okay, so someone's picking up that light axe, going to be using it to make survival vests. Survival vests increase agility by 15 each. So we will be... this is our final speed item of the game. And you'll also see Leno typically picks up ribbons while he's here in the Sunken Shrine instead of in the next dungeon. So Leno's going to be making a little sidetrack while he's here.
A little bit slower to pick up ribbons here, but
slightly safer as well.
Slightly safer.
As Portia was saying, RPG Limit Break will be in May. I believe I actually have a link here.
Also, Leno, interestingly, using the black robe on pretty much everything here.
Yes.
Which I suppose you can get away with if your black mage is powerful enough.
I do believe he puts lordly robes in the black mage as well to do that.
Nice. And now a little inventory shuffle for Leno there.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure this was entirely planned.
And Soma coming up to Kraken, and in addition to being dapper, he also is the least dangerous of the fiends in this particular route. Normally he's actually one of the more dangerous ones because he hits a lot and hits really hard, but with our multiple stacks of armor, his physical attacks are pretty much worthless.
And he goes down very quickly, thanks to the Barbarian Sword.
He has enough limbs, he'll sometimes get in 8 hits on an attack, but, 8 hits of 1 damage each, not super scary for us.
We named that fighting the Ogre Mage and Hellhounds. I think I saw a Judgment Staff there, which is interesting strat.
The White Mage should be able to do that, but yeah, if they don't have the black robes, that's probably the quickest way to take them out.
Yep. Or if they haven't done the Lordly Robes menu by this point, I think the black robes are too weak.
Correct.
Yeah, all these little variables don't make too much difference, but it's something you have to think about and know your stuff as a runner.
There's Leno doing a sidetracking to pick up those ribbons.
Also, still got his warrior dead.
Yes, he does.
Not sure when he's gonna pick his warrior up and get some decent HP.
So, did he fight Merlith without the warrior?
I think so. I suppose this is why his thief is first in the party. His thief does warrior strats as well.
Yeah. I guess this will help his thief and black mage get levels for hit points, though. Speaking of which, this is about the time where we really need to start paying attention to our hit point pools. For the final boss battle, we'd prefer to see our black mage over about 250 hit points and our ninja over 275, perfectly 300 hit points for the final boss.
Problem is, there's actually nothing we can do to make that happen. We just have to hope that RNG is kind to us.
Yeah, our hit point rolls every time we level up are random. We did pick up some safety items earlier when we bought the ferry. We picked up items called the Giant Tonic, which will, for the duration of one battle, increase your hit points by 200. We would prefer not to have to use them because it adds an extra turn in the final battle of the game. And last thing we want is for Chaos to get more turns.
Yeah, that, and also the Giant Tonic only increases your maximum HP, which means that you still have to get a heal off before you take that damage. So say you've only got 160 HP on your Black Mage, you use the Giant's Tonic, then you have 160 out of 360. But then Chaos cast his most powerful spells, your Black Mage is still dead. So ideally, you want to start off the fight with as much HP as possible.
So Soma made such good time there on the waterfall cavern, we didn't mention it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was ludicrous. The waterfall cavern is a very high encounter area that can be kind of scary, and we missed it.
Yeah, he really didn't hang around there for very long.
And Chaos Lord 2, we don't want to give you turns. Chaos having turns is bad.
We definitely don't want Chaos to have any turns. Chaos has a tournament named after him. He should be grateful.
Yes. And Soma going back to Melman for the third and final time. We're grabbing that Rosetta Stone we picked up and the Sunken Shrine and giving it to Dr. Un here, or Une, or I don't know how to say it. That dude.
I always go with Un, but I suppose Une makes sense. Yeah, so what are we going to do with the Rosetta Stone? Well, obviously we're going to learn a language in 5 seconds.
Yep. I just say this is the Final Fantasy version of Pig Latin we're learning.
Beautiful. And to make use of our new language, we are going to go to the wonderful town of Lufenia, where everyone is trying to ruin your run. You know we were moaning about priestesses, like, right at the beginning of this speedrun? Yeah. Keep watching. I'm probably going to say that, and now Soma's going to get, like, a perfect run through Lufenia.
Well, not anymore. Alright. So, little time save here. We travel in those water tiles there with the canoe, because of the lower encounter rate and nothing unrunnable there. Then we immediately get an encounter that's unrunnable.
Yeah, these are the guys you don't want to see on the walk down to Lufenia. You know, not particularly dangerous, but you do have to kill them. You can't run away from them. So they will use up about 10 seconds of your time.
And we also have to worry about winter wolves. They're not terribly dangerous, but if you get ambushed by 9 of them, they can be somewhat dangerous. And if they all cast Ice Storm. It takes forever. So Leno is about to be on his way to Melmond, and KrusKader and Rename are both working their way toward Kraken. And Soma is in the very poorly planned city of Lufenia. If there was ever a disaster, big fire in this town, it would be a problem. Not having to do with any blocks though.
Straight through. Yeah, as you can see, there's only like 1 tile's width there, and about 4 NPCs trying to run into your path. So if you get an NPC walking straight into your path just ahead of you, you can be stuck for up to 4 tiles while you wait for them to think about moving out of your way. So that can be like 10-20 seconds, depending on how bad it is. And absolutely nothing you can do, of course.
What I do is I walk back and forth in frustration while waiting on them.
I just keep walking on top of them in the hope that eventually I'll stand on their feet.
Well, I figure if I walk back and forth in frustration, it lets them know I'm frustrated, and it gives them the chance to take one more step toward me and make it worse.
Yeah, never let them walk towards you. Yeah, on the subject of NPCs, bats.
And Soma is already back at the airship.
Wow, that was a good run-up.
Yeah. So finding a Desert Beretta there. What I love about Desert Berettas is I rarely seem to run across them in the desert, but in the desert I frequently run across the non-desert variety of them.
And
I do not believe we've seen any 164s yet this run, have we?
No, not that I've noticed, though with 4 screens going on, we might have missed one.
Yeah. And so I'm getting 2 encounters on the first floor of Mirage Tower. Mirage Tower, like the Waterfall Cavern, is a very high encounter rate, especially the second floor can be a pain to get through. The only unrunnable we'll run across here are the Blue Dragon. There's one required, there's one that's a 164 chance, and we run across a single vampire. That almost never happens. A single vampire is flagged as a boss because of the earlier boss battle.
So yeah, both the Waterfall Cavern that Rename is in and Leno has just left, and the Mirage Tower that Soma's currently making his way through, both very high encounter areas, so you'll be seeing quite a lot of annoying fights.
And the reason we were in the Waterfall Cavern was to pick up an item called the Warp Cube, which we're actually about to use here on Soma's screen. It allows us to go from the Mirage Tower into the Flying Fortress. So this is the required Blue Dragon fight, who actually gets a turn off. I don't know the last time I saw that.
That's always fun. Particularly if you haven't healed because you weren't worried about it. And then suddenly, 70 damage on everyone.
I'm not sure that's ever actually happened to me. That I didn't know.
Yeah, I've seen it once. I didn't even know it was possible.
Yeah. Huh. I thought you just stood there and died.
They do usually. No, you're much more likely to see it on one of the other platforms.
Yeah. So, I have not played the version of the game without glitches since I first played the game when it came out, you know, a decade ago.
What, you mean you don't remember every single encounter?
I know, right? I never fought Warmech until I started speedrunning the game, and then only like twice. Speaking of Warmech.
Speaking of Warmech. Good segue.
Yeah. Totally intentional. So, someone dealing with some annoying manticores.
But coming up, after the Evil Eye and the annoying manticores and all of the other things that he's probably going to have to run into in the way, on floor 5 of the Flying Fortress, there is a mysterious villain that we all wait to see every single run. And we got 4 runs today. That's 4 chances to see a Warmech. Can we get some Warmech hype in chat, please? The Warmech is a 1 in 64 encounter, so that's a rare encounter, and it only comes on 1 floor of this one dungeon, which has a low encounter rate, and is quite a short floor. So, it's very exciting when we see it. And we have 4 runners today, so that's 4 times the chance that we usually have.
So, honestly, probably still no.
Probably still not. Shin, you've got to be optimistic, please.
I played Final Fantasy 1 way too much to be optimistic.
That's a good point. Wait, how do you keep running this game when you're not optimistic? So,
if you're running this game expecting to win, you're not going to have fun.
No, true. If you're running this game and you're a little bit of a masochist, probably going to be the best game for you in the world.
Yeah. Alright, so Tiamat also cast Thunderbolt, but Soma did heal. And
won't help his Black Mage.
Nope. So his Black Mage and his Ninja both looking like there might be a chance of getting enough hit points. We'll see.
Black Mage looking better than the Ninja at the moment. Ninja looking a bit squishy.
Yeah.
Is this for physical PSPs or emulators? We are getting a question in chat. Difficult to tell sometimes.
I know that several of them are using emulators because I saw the emulator screens earlier.
Yeah.
I
want to say Leno's not. I want to say Leno's on an actual PSP. Also, Soma's looks a little bit on the... Usually, it's quite hard for us to tell, other than the slightly different graphics going on there. But yeah, it doesn't actually make that much difference for the runners. Saving takes a bit longer on an actual PSP, and there's a few graphical glitches on the emulator. But other than that, we have them on the same leaderboard, and we generally count them as being about the same.
Yeah, now if you're running the disc version, the UMD, it is much slower because you have bad loading times.
But you shouldn't
if you're
be
running
saving
the digital
anyway.
version, you should be fine.
YOLO, no saving, obviously.
Yeah.
Real speedrunners don't save.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're grinding a PB, you'll save less often. You might still save certain points. But
I would generally wouldn't save at all if I was actually trying to grind for a PB.
Yeah, well, your PB is good enough that matters.
Yeah. Basically, if you had to reset, possibly for Lich, you could get away with resetting. That would only take about 20 seconds. Anything else, it probably would take too long. So yeah, if you're doing PB runs, you wouldn't save anyway, so it probably wouldn't make much difference.
So now that Soma is in the final dungeon, I'm gonna guess Bob's chest. How about you?
You're gonna guess what?
Bob's chest.
Bob's chest?
It's a randomizer thing for.
Oh.
There's a guessing game that people play in Zelda when going to the final dungeon. It's a
Oh.
thing. If you watch speed gaming channels sometimes, you might know about it.
All these references that I'm not getting. I have seen Zelda Randomizer, and I have no idea what's going on ever. I literally just stare and go, someone's just turned into a rabbit. And that's about it.
Alright, so here in the final dungeon, Chaos Shrine, there are lots of unrunnables. And Black Mage not taking out the green dragons.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah, that's a little bit of time loss. And poison gas can hit decently hard, so it can add up over time. And white dragons can be the biggest threat here. I had a run the other day where I ran across some white dragons and escaped with just my warrior alive with 9 hit points. So. Alright, he's trying it again, hoping Lazar does it.
Yep.
And misses one again.
Another attempt at War Mech about to happen, by the way. Has he possibly not equipped his Black Mage with something?
Possibly. Does not have lordly robes on it.
I'm surprised he's not checking that.
Still making very good time, though.
Yep.
Possibly on a sub 130 pace here. It's
gonna bot
10,
me.
11 minutes usually from the Death Eye.
It's gonna bot me for best one of the tournament.
You have a 127 in the tournament, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty good because 10 or 11 minutes from Death Eye is pretty typical. So I think you're still good.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Come on, Soma.
Yeah.
You can do it. Let's have a God Chaos Shrine. What level are they? Are we talking about FF1 here, or Key Sanity, or I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. If you're asking what level our characters are, the mages are about 24, and the warrior can be more like 18-ish, I think, but not much more than that.
All right. So at this point, unless something goes kind of poorly, Soma's in a really good position right now.
He'd have to get pretty trolled by Chaos at this point.
Yeah. But for the tournament, Soma is only actually racing against KrusKader. Leno is racing against Rename. That's a much closer race right now.
Yeah, Rename needs to move a little bit faster, but he can still catch up. Because we all know the Chaos Shrine is chaotic, shall we say. And on that note, Soma getting attacked by some white dragons. These guys are probably our least favourite enemy in the entire game. We like to call them double dragons, because one of our runners double drop. You know, I don't think he even gets trolled by them any more than any of the rest of us. He just called dibs on naming them. So yeah, the double dragons cast Ice Storm, which is a pretty powerful AoE ice attack. They also like to ambush you, and they're also very fast, so they usually get the first turn, and they're also quite hard to run away from. So we don't like them.
So Soma is getting all these unrunnables. It's really causing some time.
And I think he's really trying to go for this fast time here, and taking a bit of a risk with his spells, because I wouldn't have thought that Fire could kill Earth Elementals, and he seems to have a bit of either a weak Black Mage, or he's missing some kind of equipment here.
Yeah, he's having some real trouble with his magic. So Leno actually has a slight chance of catching up right here if things keep going like this for Soma and like they are for Leno right now. Oh my god, I'm like kind of mad at him right now. And there he goes, finally gets an encounter.
Always nice when you go into the Chaos Shrine and you safety save and you take a deep breath and gulp and go, alright then, gonna have the worst that FF1 can throw at me. And then you go through about 4 floors and you're like, where are all the encounters?
And they're all on Soma's side.
Yep. So far, we are 0 for 3 on Warmex. Come on, Warmex, don't break our hearts. Also, for Chaos Lord, who was asking, I just took a look. It's Serena on Soma's screen is level 23.
And Soma's saving before fighting Lich 2. We are going to be doing refights of all the 4 fiends. Lich 2 can cast Flare, so we like to save ahead of time. Lich, as always, the most dangerous of our 4 fiends.
However, he's upgraded his evil AoEs from Blizzara to Flare now. Flare being, of course, the most powerful spell in the game.
And that was our first 2,000 hit point hit the game, I think, right there.
Nice.
On,
good job, Tuss.
And that is from casting Haste on the Ninja. That is why we like our Ninja. Leno dealing with the Double Dragons. Managed to run from them. Sometimes you run from them fine, sometimes you fail 3 times in a row, and then it gets scary.
Yeah, it's not something you want to fail.
And so Soma's now on the fire floor, kind of the least dangerous of the floors. There's only one unrunnable encounter, and it's very rare.
Lenophis also going for the Black Mage strats with the Mage's Staff there. However, did about 100 extra damage compared to Soma's Black Mage.
Yeah, I'm thinking Soma may not have Lordly Robes.
Is their Black Mage the one that heals in that route? Or not a problem? I'm just worrying for Chaos.
Well, I think people typically put Lordly Robes on if they're using him for the magic damage. For this section. I don't run that route myself, so...
We are guesstimating with knowledge, guys. We know things, but not all the things.
Unfortunately, Kib and I both run the same route, so...
Yeah. Because it's the best route.
It's a route.
It's infinitely better. You can get destroyed by RNG in slightly less ways. Maybe?
Alright, and Leno didn't have a great Earth floor, lost a little time back there, while Soma is going with Water Elementals. This is everyone's favorite floor, the Water floor, because there's a really high chance of getting Water Elementals.
When he says favorite, he means favorite as in we all
not that.
Absolutely hate it?
Yeah. Favorite in the I'm lying sense.
Yeah. Favorite in the wanting to claw out your eyeballs sense. And KrusKader is our last chance for a Warmech. We've got the last cutscene here from killing Tiamat, and then we might get a Warmech. If not, we'll just have to wait for another race.
But if KrusKader gets the war mech, in our hearts he will have won.
I think we'll just have to appeal to Leno to let him through, even if Soma beats him, basically.
Yep. And Leno is now only one fiend behind. It's going to be closer than we were expecting just a minute ago.
Yeah, Rename needs to catch up here a little bit.
When I said earlier that, Soma had it pretty safe, that was, I apologize.
Being a commentator makes me feel very powerful. We can destroy anyone's run at any time.
Yeah, I usually only destroy my own, so it was nice being able to share that gift. But as we said earlier, the RNG is pretty much everything in this game. Pretty much everyone, execution-wise, is doing fairly well, unless Soma forgot the Lordly Robes or something. But,
we can take a quick look when he does his menu here, if we look very quickly. Because he's moving very fast. Lots of good execution going on. There's a lot of Lordly Robes on the White Mage.
No,
only one. One on the... Is it only meant to be one? On the Black Mage?
I would have only put one, but I don't run that route, so I wouldn't have put the one, actually. So he is using the Sage's Staff instead of the Golden Staff on the White Mage, because he did not pick up the Golden Staff, I don't believe.
And to offset that, I believe he's got one extra Lordly Robes than what we have in the other route. So that should mean that she does enough healing to cover anything that Chaos casts every turn.
And Chaos is definitely the reason we've been leveling much we have. Hit point wise, it looks like we are going to be using the Giant's Tonic on both our Black Mage and our Ninja. And, oh, by the way, your time is officially safe now, kid.
The Ninja? Oh, yay. Excellent. No, I believe he's going for it with the Ninja.
Okay.
It's pretty close.
Opening Blaze. This is the scariest part, but I think we should...
Not good.
What we're worried about is sometimes he'll get into a magic cycle. He'll do Blaze, Tsunami, Cyclone back to back, and we're hoping that the White Mage can keep up with that.
Yeah, White Mage has got 250 going on there. She should be okay. So things to look out for with Chaos here. I don't think we've seen it yet in the tournament. He does actually do a cycle that leads to him healing half of his health if you're very, very unlucky. He also does physical attacks, which are fantastic and really quick and save on animation time. Unless he does a critical, in which case he can take out basically any of your characters in one shot.
And you may notice every character is hasted except for the White Mage. Every character is attacking except for the White Mage, who every turn is healing. And here comes the Tsunami. So basically with Chaos, the longer the animation, the more the damage. So Tsunami's the second strongest, almost takes out the Ninja.
And that is why we were surprised that he wasn't using a Giant's Tonic.
So if he does a Cyclone here, if he doesn't just die here, he's getting pretty close. Ooh, physical.
Oh, so close.
But I think we're good now, because he got out of the magic cycle. And Leno is just starting.
This is a lot of very good times from everyone.
Yes. And GG to Soma. Official SRL time of 1:29.51. That is a race PB for Soma.
Excellent. I'm sure he's very pleased with that.
Yes, that's very,
What's the reason not to haste the White Mage? The White Mage isn't doing any damage, so... oh yeah, that's a good point, actually. Haste doesn't work in FF1 like it does in other Final Fantasies. Haste just increases the number of attacks that you do per turn. So, say your thief normally does 4 attacks. If you cast haste, then they'll be doing 8. Or more than that. So basically, there's no point in casting haste on the white mage because she's not attacking.
Also, as Chaos Lord said, we want reliable heal timing. We actually removed any item that gives the white mage speed boosts. We want her to go last every turn because we want Chaos to always attack before she heals to risk the chance of her healing, then Chaos attacking, and then going first the next turn, and basically getting double damage in between heals. And Leno's having a kind of picture-perfect fight here.
Don't say that. Leno with the interesting ninja at the head of the party strats. As we mentioned, Chaos hits pretty hard, so having the ninja with only 279 HP at the head of the party, bit of a scary strat, but he's made it.
GG to Leno with an SRL time of 1:31:35.
And that means that we have actually got a winner for both of our races today. So GG to Soma and to Leno, who will be proceeding to the next round of the tournament.
Alright, and we're going to see if anyone wants to hop in for interviews. Soma saying he almost broke his controller in Mirage. His Mirage Tower and his Chaos Shrine were not super fun. Alright. Meanwhile,
we have a guest. It is Leno. Hello, Leno. How are you doing?
Hello.
GG.
I'm good. GG.
That was a pretty good early Chaos Shrine.
That was an insane early Chaos Shrine. Just 3 battles, all unrunnable, but or no, I had the one white dragon that was runnable, but yeah, just 3 battles early Chaos. That was crazy.
We were commenting. You were way further behind than that going into Chaos when someone went into Chaos Shrine, and you almost caught up.
Ooh.
Oh, someone needs to be moved over. Give me a second.
Oh.
Hey, Soma.
Hey,
Hello.
Soma.
What a run.
GG. Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you said in the chat there, you lost a little time there toward the end, but still a great run overall.
Yeah.
And you won both races. So, what are y'all's thoughts?
Well, I had pretty good encounter luck in general, but the battles themselves were terrible.
Yeah, we were wondering why your Black Mage wasn't getting the hits in the Chaos Shrine. We were wondering if you forgot the Lordly Robes or something, but you had them. So.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know, yeah, my Black Mage I had to do 2 magics to kill green dragons. I don't know why. I probably did a mistake in Lordly Robes or
Right, yeah.
somewhere. I don't know.
Neither of us runs the Black Mage route, so we were kind of doing some guesswork there.
So maybe under level.
And I must have accidentally put some Lordly Robes on my white mage because she was regenerating during Chaos. It's like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
Bonus heals.
Yeah, but as I said in the chat on the race, during my Mirage Tower and Chaos Shrine, I almost broke my controller. That was insane.
Like, on purpose, or...?
Oh, actually, we were shocked by your Flying Fortress had an odd number of encounters too. Those Manticores took forever.
Yeah, I saw first floor, I got twin counters. I was like, okay, it's gonna be hard.
All right,
And it was really, really hard.
Real quickly,
I'm-
Rename is starting his chaos fight, so we're gonna take a minute to kind of watch that, see how he does.
Let's see. We haven't been keeping track. Oh wow, he's got a really weak black mage there. That's pretty
Yeah.
much the lowest HP that you can get for your black mage.
Yeah, 163 might be my record.
I've had less, but it's not fun. So we'll have to hope that he can get his Giant's Tonic off and survive that first round for the white mage to heal him to full.
Yeah, that's actually why I kept my fighter.
Oh, Blaze. Uh-oh. Everybody cross your fingers.
Oh
Oh, no. That's probably a reset.
Is he gonna YOLO it?
Keep trying. Yeah, he's going to keep going.
I mean, he has the ninja hitting hard, so the two biggest threats here are at this point, well, are chaos hitting hard, but he can cast Kuraja to heal himself, and our big limiter is our white mage running out of magic to heal.
Yeah, we only get so many turns before she runs out. It costs 25 MP for a healer. And as you can see, she's got about 200 now, so that's 8 turns. So either Chaos is going to stop us, or we're going to have to stop ourselves.
There is a chance that earlier in the games, some zombie dragons dropped a Mega Elixir. I did not see.
Yeah, not that I know of, but that would be nice. Alternatively, you could take some time out of your damaging to throw some ethers at her, but obviously that slows you down even more.
Mm-hmm. And gives him another chance to cast Kuraja, which heals himself back up. So this is a possible chance for KrusKader to catch up here, but hopefully Rename can pull it through. If he can, extra points.
Yeah, is KrusKader there going into Chaos Fight as well? I believe.
We also have to worry about Slowra being cast from Chaos. It's unusual, but if he casts Slowra, it will halve the damage of whatever character he hits.
Is it unusual? He seems to do it to me all the time.
Well, it's unusual that it matters. But here it would, because we can no longer cast
True.
haste.
I'm
And
a little
he
surprised
pulls
you
it
guys.
through.
Nice.
No, okay.
Alright, you were saying?
I was gonna say I'm surprised you guys didn't ask me about keeping my fighter dead for as long as I did.
You know,
yeah, we were
trying to get hit
wondering.
Points. Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
We
that,
basically we went with kind of Leno is Leno was generally our explanation for such things.
Well, I was thinking about it. Why do we keep the fighter dead so we can get more hit points for our black mage and ninja? But then I was really thinking about it, like, you know, we really don't need any levels for the fighter at all until the final dungeon.
Well, most people
So I'll
keep
just
him at the top of the party to take all the to absorb the damage from chaos. But since you like wandering around as a thief, then I can see your point.
Yep.
Well, also, did you have a barbarian sword on one of your mages when you fought Merilith?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't need the damage from him for Merilith. So that's
No,
a
I
difference
didn't.
to your strat.
All the
Yep.
Leno strats. Leno
I just have Lenos. Yep. never.
At one point, I guess because the route you were doing, the overworld map, like, oh, okay, looks like he's gonna go ahead and because you got the rat's tail, then you went and got her spells. I'm like, okay, so I'm guessing at this point he's probably just gonna go ahead and go up and do Merilith and do upgrades later. Nope.
You're just guessing.
Yep.
It's looking pretty safe on KrusKader's side at this point, as long as
He
everything
also has
goes
Lordly
well.
Robes equipped on the armor slot of the white mage. That causes regen animation every turn. We try to avoid that. That's
No,
a
I
difference
didn't.
to your strat.
All the Leno strats.
Yeah, I made the mistake and didn't do that. I thought I put cools on, but I didn't really check to see what I put on that slot. Oopsie.
So Cyclone early in the fight is a huge threat because it's highest damage spell, but at this point it's just not that important. And KrusKader through with a SRL time of 1:40.44, so GG to him.
And that's all of our 4 runners today. So GG to everyone. Finally made it.
Yeah.
See if we can get the other 2 in here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit of a chaos of runners in here.
So yeah, Soma did die to Lich. I believe Rename died to Lich twice.
Yeah, was it twice? Yeah, I think he had to do it 3 times, didn't he? Yep. So Lich was not having it today.
We'll see if everyone else wants to get in. All right, and it looks like Soma left the room. I want to thank him for joining us and for an awesome run.
Yeah, great job.
Yes, Leo, Leno did puzzle. Got a Hermes shoes out of it.
Did it? Oh, I was told a potion. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy telling chat how pointless it all was.
Yeah, so Rename's going to hop in here in just a minute.
I might have to hop off, guys. I'm expected on a different Final Fantasy. But yeah, great job, everybody.
Well, if you need to head on out, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you guys for everything. And for Gaming for putting up with me again. And thanks everyone for watching. I'm just going to head out.
Alrighty.
GG Rename.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Maybe next
GG.
time Lich will treat me a little better, but aside from that, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was a good race.
Agreed.
So everyone had a nice little time this race. We've been talking about your Lich was you got half of my record on Lich deaths.
Maybe one day I'll be able to beat that record. We'll see.
Yeah. Alrighty. So any other thoughts you have on that run, Rename?
Not really. I mean, it happens. It's unfortunate, but only so much you can do about a situation like that.
Yeah, execution-wise, look, you did fine. That's Final Fantasy 1 in a nutshell. You were actually pretty close with Leno for a while, and then Leno just had a ludicrous Chaos Shrine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I noticed between Death Eye and Lich 2, I lost almost 3 minutes somehow. I guess my encounters are really bad.
Well, I had 3 battles between Entrance and Lich.
Holy cow.
Or no, 3 battles between Entrance and Lich Floor. I had 3 battles on Lich Floor.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. That was really good. Alright. Well, does not look like KrusKader is going to be joining us right now. So I did want to go ahead and thank all of you for playing. You have any shout-outs you want to give?
Just shout-outs to the crew and the tournament, you know. I mean, running it's fun, but we couldn't do it without everybody else pitching in.
Alright. And Lena, you got anything you want to say?
I will survive! I will keep advancing! I'm coming for the finals!
Nice.
Awesome.
Get him.
All right. Well, I wanted to go ahead and thank everyone for watching the stream. Obviously, thank Feasel and everyone out there at Speed Gaming for hosting this tournament. We couldn't do it without y'all. Want to thank Leno and all the tournament staff for putting this all together for us. And most of all, I want to thank our runners, Rename, Leno, KrusKader, and Soma for putting on a great show. And I want to thank Kib, who unfortunately had to leave us just now, for joining me in this commentary. It was super fun. Make sure you follow everyone I just listed. and go ahead and subscribe to Speed Gaming. Keep getting feels of those tacos.
Agreed.
That being said, I want to thank you all for joining us, and you have yourselves a wonderful day. We're going to go ahead and give the channel back to Speed Gaming now. You all have a good day.